Happy Valentine's month, everybody. I'm the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to share with you some of my favorite Valentine's Day episodes from TV shows or even movies. Um, Not everything is all lovey-dovey. Sometimes Valentine's Days deal with heartache and everything. So, some episodes will be romantic and lovey-dovey, while others will be very sad and heart-wrenching and stuff. But love is love. It doesn't always come with smiles and giggles and glee. So, I'm here today to talk to you about Sailor Moon R, the movie Promise of a Rose. So, this was the very first Sailor Moon movie in the entire series, and I believe it is the best one out of all of them. Although the next one that came after this is pretty good. I think it's called Sailor Moon S. And so, there are there are three different versions, really. There's the Japanese version, there is the original 90s American dub one, the Deke version, and there is, of course, the redub Viz version, where it's like unedited and stuff. But for the most part, this movie hasn't, when you watch the original 90s Deke version, it's not really, edited. Like, they keep all the stuff in there. They just changed the dialogue and the names of the characters. And so, in all honesty, oh, also the original one, it left out the whole Fiore being madly in love with Mamoru Tuxedo Mask. It's mostly just hinted that they're just friends in the original one, and not that Fiore has true feelings for him. Personally, I like both versions. I like the fact that they kept the whole subplot of Fiore in Mamoru. It made more sense because I never understood why he kept looking at him the way he did and holding his hand the way he did. And it was just always, it confused me and stuff when I watched the original one. But I do prefer the original Deke version only because I like the dialogue better. I'm more used to hearing the original voices, the original names of the American dub one. Oh man, the music. I love the American old school version with the American music. Ah, it was so great. But there is actually a version of the Deke dub with the Japanese music. It's hard to find, but you have to do some soul searching for it and stuff. Now, this movie is available on YouTube for free. Not illegally, but you know how they have YouTube movies and stuff? Yeah, it's there, so you can watch it for free. I think all the movies are actually on there. The only Sailor Moon movies I don't like is the Super S one. I think that's what it's called. It's the one where Luna turns into a person. I don't like that one. And I don't like the Eternal movies at all. So I mean they're okay. I just don't really love them. But this movie, man, I love. They really knocked this one out the park. However, there is one huge problem with this movie, and that is, when does it take place? In fact, when do any of the movies take place other than the Crystal Eternal ones? We know when they take place, but when it comes to the original movies of the 90s series, when does any of these things take place? The continuity is beyond messed up. That's why I don't like anime movies based on TV shows. The continuity is always screwed up. And so here's the thing. Fiore, he's a alien, and he looks just like the two aliens from the second season of Sailor Moon, the first half, the one that was created by the showrunners and stuff, about the whole Doom Tree thing. So he looks exactly like them. And so it's kind of okay, so maybe this places directly after that, but directly after that is the whole people from the future, the Dark Moon Kingdom people. And so, okay, so it's kind of He's the new villain in the movie, and he's being mind controlled. So when did they have time to fight this separate villain during both those story arcs? Then there is Chippy. I forgot how to say her name. Chippy Yusa or whatever you call her. I used to like calling her Rini from the American version. It doesn't make no sense because okay, look, she wasn't in the first half of the second season, so she can't take place there. She didn't show up until the second half started. But when the second half started, that's when they were doing the whole Dark Moon Kingdom thing. And so in the movie, she knows that Usagi is Sailor Moon and her mother from the future. And she knows who all the Guardians are and Tuxedo Mask. However, in the anime, she doesn't find out that Usagi is her mother until the very end of like the season. So when in the world does this take place? It's so confusing. However, with that all aside, this is like I said before, it's very well written. Basically, Mamoru and Usagi, they're dating and everything. Of course, that upsets like Ray and Chibiusa. She's super annoying in this. Like my God, she's so annoying in this. Now the Guardians do have their star power, and Sailor Moon has her scepter. So this does take place in season 2. And so basically, the story of this is that we get a little bit more backstory to Mamoru. Many years ago, when he was reincarnated in the 90s and stuff, his family was in a bad car accident. He was the only survivor. He was placed at the hospital, and he's so heartbroken and upset. And then he meets this little boy. We think he's a little boy. He said he has to go. Mamoru gives him a rose. He tells him that he promises when he finds flowers worthy of this rose, he'll come back and give Mamoru tons of flowers and everything. And so he disappears in sparkly light, right? So then it's in the present day. And it's just Usagi and his Mamoru, they're out on a date. The girls are all spying and all this stuff. And then when they leave out the little flower shop, a man appears, just approaching Mamoru and everything. He looks just like the little boy, all grown up. And he tells them, like, I found the flower for you and it's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Mamoru has no idea who this dude is. He doesn't even remember him. Then he holds Mamoru's hand in a very loving, caressing way, which upsets Usagi, where she's just kind of like, what the world? She's like, look, this is my boyfriend. And then he shoves her. And then, like, so he says a couple of stuff and he disappears. Everybody's a little bleeped out by this. They don't know who he is. And Mamoru can't really remember, but he's trying to. So anyway, at some point, when they're all out and about, they notice that like some people have been like comatose. When they wake up, they're like almost like zombies, and they're trying to fight the girls. They had all of their energy drained from them. They realize it came from like a flower. They go to investigate the flower. The flower is really cool looking. It's a flower with these legs made of stems, and it's like a woman with some weird like plant type arms. So the girls transform, they fight. They finally they able to defeat like the flower. You know what I'm saying? And this is when I say this gets a little confusing because right before when the thing tried to kill like Chibiusa, so Usagi jumped in front of her, it crashed through the window, and Usagi was knocked unconscious. When she wakes up, in the American Deke version, Chibiusa calls her like Moon Mama, so that lets you know that she knows it's her mom and stuff, and then she transforms. So they finally meet our bad guy. It's Fiore. He turns into his alien form. He looks like them people from the Doom Tree. He tries to like kill Sailor Moon, and of course Tuxedo Mask intercepts, gets stabbed straight through the stomach. This upsets Fiore, and then he takes Mamoru back to his little asteroid thing. They determine that the asteroid is coming to Earth. It's very unusual shape. Luna and Artemis don't get much to do in this. They pretty much just take a side trip. Same with Chibiusa. So Of course, Sailor Moon's being her typical crybaby self, talking about, oh, Maru, he's so hurt. We have to go save him. Of course, she know how she is. So in a way, they teleport there. And I love the action in this movie. It isn't much. Basically, the action just revolves around them saying them using their like attack move, saying it, and that's it. And so there isn't much like hand-to-hand combat, nothing like that. But of course, Mako does like a couple of hand-to-hand moves because that's how she is. And so I wish like when it comes to Sailor Moon, I wish there was more action. But it's okay because it's very drama heavy in a good way. And it gives you good explanation. And so as they're like fighting it, they realize on the asteroid there are tons of enemies everywhere, but they can't see them. It's the flowers. It's a field of flowers they're standing in, and that's the enemy and stuff. So while Mamoru is being regenerated in this little tank type thing, he's starting to remember more. He remembers that like his little alien friend showed him in his alien form and all this and that. And so like we never see these two kiss or nothing like that. The censors didn't want to go that far. Um, but he keeps talking about how like he made a promise, how he cares for him, and like all this and that. We see attached to Fiore there is a Insignian flower attached to him. It's this ancient type of flower where a little woman lives in, and she corrupts whoever like is wearing her, and she drains them of their energy, turning them evil. Basically, the whole plot is that they're gonna go to Earth and drain every last human of their energy with all these flowers and stuff. So of course our scouts or guardians, whatever you want to call them, has to save the day. And so Fiore is so pissed that he hates Sailor Moon because she's with Mamoru. He attacks her big time and drains a lot of her energy to where she's comatose on the ground. The girls have all now been defeated and stuff. And so when he's getting ready to like kill her, the girls stop him and talk about how Sailor Moon is a great person. Without her, they wouldn't know each other, they wouldn't have no friends, and all this other stuff. He's about to kill her, and then all of a sudden, whack, right in the chest. He gets stabbed with a rose. It is, of course, Tuxedo Mask and everything. He is shocked to see this because he can't believe it. His close best friend, who he stood by when his parents like murdered, just tried to kill him and everything. And so like with that, the asteroid is still going to Earth, and it's gonna kill everybody on Earth. Now, the little flower lady, she doesn't never really, she just controls Fiore. She doesn't never like make herself big or nothing like that. So everybody's like, crap, gonna die and everything. Sailor Moon's like, not today. And Sailor Moon does the impossible or the unthinkable. She uses the silver crystal to like I don't know, steer the course of the asteroid away from Earth and everything, and destroy parts of the asteroid. So the light energy that's illuminating from the silver crystal, it like breaks apart the asteroid to where only the girls are like sitting on it and stuff, and Mamoru and stuff. However, Fiore's not having this crap, and he grabs like before she can even like really activate it, he grabs like her brooch and he tries to drain the energy. But she tells him, look, it's okay. I can heal your like broken heart and everything and make you see like the truth. And then so he sees like a vision, right? As the energy is going like everywhere. He sees we get more like backstory. Ironically, it turns out that Mamoru and I'm about to call her Serena. I missed that they used to call her Serena. Usagi, I'm not used to saying. They met when they was like little and everything. When she was like working like she was at the hospital for some reason. She gives Mamoru a flower. He's upset because Fiore about to leave and everything. And so Fiore sees, wait a minute, the rose that Mamoru gave me, it came from Usagi and everything. So then he feels funny inside, and he's all like, the crystal, it feels funny. He takes his hand off it, and the crystal has now bloomed into a flower. And so, like, the energy is illuminating so strongly that it kills the little flower woman, the Insidian flower that's on his chest, and I'm pretty sure it kills him too. And he turns into like a sparkly light and everything. And so, like, now that the enemy's gone, now the asteroid's still finna crash land. But Sailor Moon ain't having it, boy. She transforms into Princess Serenity, and she's using all the power she can to steer the asteroid away from Earth and destroy as much as possible, even if it means destroying them. And they tell her don't use the crystal because remember what happened last time? It killed your behind. It killed your mom and everything. But she doesn't care. She's gonna do it anyway because she wants to protect the people of Earth and let them have like beautiful dreams and fall in love. 'Cause that's what she's all about. You know what I'm saying? And so Mamoru's all like, it's time for him to turn into Prince Endymion, and then he's gonna help. And he's gonna help like infuse his power into her to make the crystal stronger and stuff, right? And then so the girls, they're all like, well, we got help too. So they call on their power. All of that energy is enough to like destroy the asteroid as much as possible and steer it completely off course. However, when they steer it off course, and they use so much energy, the energy overwhelms that of the crystal and it shatters. Now she's no longer able to transform, even though she's still in her Sailor Moon outfit. But her eyes once again go all black. I love it when her eyes go black. That lets you know, boom, she is gone. She has died once again. And so she is slowly dying and everything. Then we get a strange scene. Mamoru has this weird dreamlike state where he's talking to Fiore, and Fiore's like, "Here's a flower, and its magic has my essence in it, and like it can restore like Sailor Moon or whatever." 'Cause I guess since so much of Sailor Moon's energy went into Fiore to like destroy him and heal him and stuff, I guess he can like infuse it back into her. Now, this is the part that's really weird. And I don't understand, and it's just weird to look at. So as Fiore, this is like little Fiore, like the kid version. He's holding the flower in his hand. Adult Mamoru kisses the flower. I have no idea why. It's very disturbing. But then the dreamlike state goes away, and he's kissing um, Serena on the lips and everything. And the power of love that is infused from, I guess, him kissing that flower in the dream state is going into her, and it restores like the silver crystal and everything. So the heroes have won. They're floating around in outer space and it ends and everything. And it was like a really good movie. It had a nice A plot, B part, and C part. It had nice music, it had nice action, it had nice transformation, it had pretty good dialogue and everything. Even though Chibi Yusa was very annoying, it was still one of the better movies. And it had a pretty cool villain. Like, he even bossed up to like a monstrous looking kind of state, these weird like arms around him. And the plant monsters were really cool. And so I just really enjoyed this movie, even though it breaks continuity and stuff. And just like with the second movie with the ice people and the little Pied Piper thing, I like that movie as well. I just don't like the one where Luna turns into a woman. I don't get that movie. And the villains didn't seem all that compelling and stuff. But I've never seen the actual Japanese undubbed version of the one where Luna turns into a woman. So maybe it's better, maybe it's not. I don't know. But like I said before, I do prefer the original Deke voices for this. It just there was something more magical and uplifting to it. A lot of people don't like the Deke version. I do. Some of the villain voices were corny, but some of the like other people voices were very memorable. Everybody had a different sounding voice that was very unique and stylized. The problem with the Viz dub is that for the most part, a lot of people always sound the same, especially the guys. And that's very annoying. Like, you can close your eyes and listen, you don't know who's talking. You can listen to the Deke version, close your eyes, you know exactly who's talking. The Sailor Moon, my favorite Sailor Moon will always be that of like, I like the first actress who voiced, but I really love the second one, the one that everybody knows. Her voice just sounded so heavenly and magical, and it sounded like she was singing when she talks and stuff. Now I do like the Sailor Moon Viz dub actress as well. she sounds like her age and stuff, whereas the other American ones didn't, and from the Deke version. As for the other ladies, I like their voices too in the Viz dub and in the Deke one. Sometimes you can't really tell them apart, so that's kind of cool because they sound similar to the original ones and stuff. And so, like, I know in the Deke version, Ray's voice, Mars, had changed for some bizarre reason. Don't know why. But for the most part, just like in any other Sailor Moon thing, the Guardians don't really do much. They just there to help, support, and everything. And like I said before, Artemis and Luna don't do much of nothing in this episode. But all in all, like I said, it's really, really good. Now, I did watch this on YouTube before I bought it on Blu-ray. I gotta say, it's weird watching this movie all crystal clear visually. It's very smooth. It's very bright. I'm used to the graininess of the old school version and stuff. That's just how my eyes prefer to see it. Um, but you know, the remaster is cool too. It's just too bright looking and stuff. One thing about Sailor Moon, the '90s anime, it had kind of like a dingy color palette that really brought it to life. Now, as when it comes to Crystal, it's very bright, so it feels like that. Um, I think that's all I have to say. Oh, I did. I tried to get a long time ago the original um version on DVD. FYE had it, not no more. Now there is a special featurette in this Blu-ray thing where it's basically just Usagi and Chibiusa, and they're just talking, and they overhear these kids like talking about who's their favorite guardian, and it's nothing special. Now, wasn't that romantic? Or depressing, depending on what kind of video I just talked about. Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and bye.